are final indeed. Now, the election observer groups have given the electoral process in Kenya a clean bill of health. In separate press briefings, the head of the East African Community Election Observation Mission, Jakaya Kikwete, and former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan, the head of the International Election Observer Mission, said Kenyans have set the pace to be emulated for democratic, peaceful, and transparent electoral processes, not only in Africa but across the world.
The election observer groups have urged voters in Kenya to exercise patience as vote tallying by the Independent Electoral and Borders Commission continues. Former Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete, who is heading the East Africa Community Election Observation Mission, lauded Kenya for a largely smooth general election and vote counting tolerance.
Would like to appeal to all political actors and stakeholders in Kenya, including the great people of Kenya, to continue to maintain peace after the results of the elections are declared.
He says that though there were a few isolated cases of technological and administrative hitches, the election process was to a large extent conducted well. According to Kikwete, the IEBC, however, needs to take corrective measures to ensure the hitches do not recur.
With regards to the layout of polling stations, it is the opinion of East African community observers that party agents were placed too far from the polling official who is identifying the voters. For purposes of enhancing checks and balances in future elections, the IEB should consider placing party agents close to that official to ascertain the authenticity of voters.
Voters were able to cast ballots for their candidates of their choice in a generally orderly and peaceful process. Polling workers were knowledgeable and appeared to be well trained, and they worked hard to ensure that every eligible voter was allowed to cast a vote.
Former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan, the head of International Election Observer Mission, says the gesture by IEBC of employing women managers for polling stations is a sign of equity in the society.
There's significant improvement in Kenya in terms of course, Kenya is quite good in IT because, even issues of money, it's one of the first countries that started using IT to move money and so on that before every other person started.
The Commonwealth Observer Group Chair, Bruce Golding, commended Kenya's peaceful environment in the pre-election and electioneering period.
The group was concerned about the impact of the manipulation of social media to influence the perception of voters. And in that regard, we note that the Commission have proactively engaged social media platforms to restrict misinformation and disinformation. We commend that effort, and we urge that in future that effort be intensified.
The African Union and COMESA Election Observation Mission lauded IEBC's use of KIMS kit for identification of voters based on lessons learned from previous elections.
The use of KIMS kit to identify a voter and transmit the results directly to the presidential results sent directly to Nairobi is quite good. In my country, my professor, my chairman of my INEC is here. We don't do that. The chain is long. We do polling at the polling unit, then you now collate at the wards, then you move to the local government, then from local government to the state before you send it. So along this long line, anything can happen.
Irene Mchuma Odem, the Prime Edition.